Hello and welcome to day 6 of the London Bookshop Crawl. Here's what's coming up. Today's topic is community, and we will be discussing a little bit later on about some of our favourite community bookshops. Plus, we'll be looking at our own community, our bookish community, and the people who support the London Bookshop Crawl are volunteers. In fact, here's one of them right now. Here is Ga Lok with his 5 quick things.
I'm Ga Lok and I'm based in East London. I really like the London Bookshop Crawl because it combines 2 things that I enjoy: walking and browsing books. So it's really fantastic to meet a group of like-minded people to share in our passions. In early 2020, I discovered a great place called Paper and Cup based in Hackney. They're a bookshop, a coffee shop, and they're also a charity helping homelessness and addiction recovery. So whenever you're in East London, it's a great place to pop by and visit. If you are visiting London, a pub to go to is called the Ye Old Cheshire Cheese. It's a pub based off Fleet Street that's over 500 years old and has been visited by many English writers over the years. In fact, Arthur Conan Doyle based one of his Sherlock Holmes detective stories around this pub. A book recommendation for 2021 is Sylvia Plath's The Bell Jar. I've really found this book useful in terms of reflecting on isolation and building resilience during these difficult times.
Thank you, Ga Lok, for your 5 quick things. Some fantastic suggestions there you've given us. We are so grateful to all of our volunteers who give up their time, and I'm so grateful for them, because without them, this event really wouldn't happen, both this year and in the past. So thank you very much. We're also grateful to all of the amazing bookshops who take part every year, one of whom is the Alligator's Mouth, and Helen is here from the Alligator's Mouth with her 5 quick things.
My name is Helen and I work for the Alligator's Mouth Children's Bookshop in Richmond, and I'm based in London. I often am working when the bookshop crawl is on, so I've not taken part in a bookshop crawl. However, I love seeing the crawlers coming to the shop. It's so fun welcoming them, and the bookshop crawlers are always up for a bookish chat, and they love to discover kind of hidden gems or something that they might not have heard of before, and they're always like a really lovely bunch of people, so that's my favourite thing. Now, I have way too many favourite bookshops to name one, and as mentioned, I haven't been on a bookshop crawl, but I did go on one with my friend that we kind of made up one day, and we kind of pootled around London, going to different bookshops we hadn't been before. We made a plan and kind of wanted to hit as many as we could, and it was really fun. Loved discovering the new ones, and if the London Bookshop Crawl is anything like the mini crawl me and my friend made, then it must be a lot of fun. Something I love about London is that there just seems to be so many bookshops everywhere, and you can just kind of stumble upon them, and I think that's my favourite bookish find, is that you'll just be kind of wandering around, minding your own business, and then suddenly there's a bookshop kind of hidden or tucked away or just right in front of you, and it's just really fun finding them. And yeah, it's one of my favourite things to do, is just kind of wander around London when we can and find new bookshops, especially because London has a lot of kind of specialist bookshops. So it's always fun discovering kind of something that maybe you hadn't thought about, or that you didn't think there'd be a whole shop dedicated to it, but there is, and it's really cool. And yeah, that's my favourite bookish find. Recently I read this book here, which is Me, My Dad and the End of the Rainbow by Benjamin Dean and illustrated by Sandhya Prabhat, which is out in February, and I highly recommend it. I read it on a very gloomy January Sunday afternoon, and after I'd finished it, the world just felt like a better place. It's full of warmth, friendship, family, just really heartwarming story. And I highly recommend it for anyone who likes contemporary middle grade stories.
So today's theme is community. We're standing up today, which is why we look a little bit awkward.
It's a little bit awkward.
Trying out different areas of the house to film in.
And we thought we'd try and find a bookcase. This is
the children's bookcase. So we won't go into that too much detail because tomorrow is Kids Take Over Day.
Oh yeah.
Today is community, and I just wanted to talk a little bit, kind of elaborating a bit more on our history of the Bookshop Crawl that we spoke about on day one. And to just talk about the community of the Bookshop Crawl and what that has meant to us as a family, really, and to me, because I think it's safe to say that our lives would look quite different without the Bookshop Crawl on a day-to-day basis, even in years like this year where we haven't organised an actual in-person event. But I have a number of people in my life who are only there because of the Bookshop Crawl.
Absolutely.
And I wanted to shout out, actually, to two of my close friends, Laura and Katie, who I didn't mention in the history of the Bookshop Crawl Day, and I should have, because really it's their inspiration that had caused me to kind of start the first London Bookshop Crawl. We meet up and we would go around London bookshops together as a kind of place to go because we met online. So it was a common ground kind of thing. And I think that this community that's built up around the Bookshop Crawl is full of just so many great people, because we all come from a place of wanting to find out more about books and wanting to tell each other about books and wanting to kind of celebrate bookshops and that the kind of community that they bring. And so many bookshops are community bookshops as well.
Yeah.
So many bookshops are set up with the purpose of serving their community with books and doing things in local schools or doing things with local groups, setting up book groups to bring people together. And that's what bookshops do, I think. They bring people together, they form community. And we very much have experienced that within organising the Bookshop Crawl, that there really is a Bookshop Crawl community that enthusiastically kind of gets behind us every year. And as Rhys was saying before, our volunteers that come and give up their time and in a normal year will lead groups for us, will help us with marketing, this, that and the other. And this year have helped us by helping me with technical questions and
helping to record things.
Yeah, helping to record things, absolutely. And some of them work at bookshops as well, so they've been really helpful with getting us information that we can share with you for the Bookshop Crawl.
You've all been amazing.
Yeah, basically, there wouldn't be any point doing this without the community around it. Otherwise, it would just be us being on social media saying, look, here's a bookshop. Or us wandering around London going, hey, bookshops.
Bookshops in general, though.
Yeah.
So there are quite a few community bookshops, charity bookshops, who take part in the London Bookshop Crawl. Some of whom aren't taking part this year, obviously, for obvious reasons. They can't be open. The Oxfam books. Oh,
Oxfam Hampstead shared, I don't know if everybody saw the other day, I'll share it again today, but they shared a little virtual tour of how you can shop with them now.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really a bookshop tour because their bookshop isn't open, but it was a fantastic illustration of how you can still support them. Absolutely. Even though they're not open. And we have large amount of Oxfam bookshops take part in a usual year, probably about 10 or 12 usually that regularly take part.
Yeah.
So shout out to all of you lovely Oxfam bookshop staff. We love you. We think you're great.
Amnesty?
Yes, and there's two Amnesty bookshops in Kentish Town and Hammersmith.
Yes.
That
I've
take
been to
part
both
usually.
Of them, and they're both fantastic.
Also run by lovely people. So give big shout out to them because I know
really
that
good.
I know that they were excited to take part this year, and then changing restrictions meant that they couldn't. So, but yeah, Rhys has spoken about them a little bit in the Kentish Town in a previous video. But they're both lovely bookshops. And again, there's a nice thing about charity bookshops is that you go, you pay less for the books, and you know that you're helping to support causes, that you're helping to support local areas. I also wanted to just mention quickly as well, Leaf and Groove in Forest Hill, which we visited last year, pre-Bookshop Crawl, on a little reconnaissance trip.
They were great.
They also sadly had to pull out this year because they don't have any online kind of capacity at all. But wanted to give them a massive shout out because they are stuffed to the gills with amazing books, and they support Forest Hill Library. And they also have a gin bar downstairs. So when the world opens up again, go drink some gin and buy some books. Because, we went and they were lovely, and there's just books everywhere, all kinds of subjects. And again, it's cheaper than you'd usually pay because it's second hand. So, but I just wanted to make sure that we mentioned all of those.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got a bit of a shout out to you all, though. This is a bit of a something for a future year. One of the areas that we do lack on, though, is that we know there are so many more charity bookshops in the city. We would love to know where they are. So if you've got a particular favourite, let us know in the comments below. We will contact them and we'll try to get them on the list ready for next year. It'd be fantastic to include so many of those ones. We know of a few others, but we just need to expand in that area, I think.
Definitely,
that's an area that a lot of you have commented in past years. I really liked the charity bookshop because I felt like I got more for my money, if that makes sense.
And obviously we are aware that bookshop crawling can get expensive quite quickly.
Yes.
And where we would all love to be able to spend hundreds of pounds on books, most of us probably can't afford that. We do try to always have a more accessible price point of maps when we create our maps in a usual year. So we try to do a second-hand route, and if we, obviously, the more charity bookshops we have, the more we can do that, and the more accessible it becomes to people who don't have so much money to spend.
Agreed. Totally.
So, and I think that's another thing I just want to touch on very quickly. I won't go on too long. But as a community aspect, again, if you have any suggestions, if you've taken part in the past, or if you've seen anything this year that you think, I wish they'd done this or that or the other, accessibility-wise, we try really hard to make the Bookshop Crawl as accessible as possible to as many people as possible. So whether that's around wheelchair accessibility in a normal year when we're actually doing routes and people who can't walk long distances for whatever reason, or whether it's to do with people doing Bookshop Crawl with children, or whether it's to do with language barriers to anything at all. In this situation, probably our subtitling has not been fantastic this year. I'm sorry, I haven't got enough hours in the day. But I'm really, really sorry. I will be working back on that and getting all the subtitles in place so you can watch back, and hopefully the subtitles will actually be the words we're saying and not sometimes just something else.
What was your favourite one from the subtitles that you've done so far?
What was it? Herne Hill and Dulwich, it had subtitles as handheld and luggage.
I thought that was quite a good one.
Yeah, I mean, I can see how they got there, but it wasn't what I was going for. But yeah, so if you have any suggestions with how we can improve accessibility for the Bookshop Crawl, I'm really interested in hearing them. So you can send us any suggestions you have to londonbookshopcrawl@gmail.com. Please bear in mind we are two people. Please try not to be mean because I cry easily. So I'm very happy to take constructive criticism, but please don't just email me telling me I'm awful, because that will be a rubbish use of my time.
And also, hashtag London Bookshop Crawl. Let us know on Twitter for those bookshops. Let us know. And also, if there are more bookshops that you've seen, you can all see the list at the moment, and we're going to leave that one
plus
for another...
the ones that were part of it last year, so obviously we do contact already.
Yeah, we're going to leave that up just for a little bit longer, just so you can just keep viewing it for the remainder of this coming week, basically.
Yeah, so we'll leave it up till the weekend after the Bookshop Crawl's over, probably, and then we'll take it down.
I think that would be really helpful, though, if you can share those to us with the hashtag. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, brilliant.
If you haven't yet, hit the like button. I'm going to put it just down here again. There it goes. There it goes. We're making the bell noise right now.
We've only got 2 more days to go. There's Kids Takeover Day tomorrow.
Hold on a mo. Trailer.
I'll shout. Join me, Ben, Hughes and my brother, tomorrow for Kids Takeover Day. Hooray!
Helen.
Yeah. Okay, so for this evening, we've got Reading Hour, Silent Reading Party. Join us 6:30 to 7:30 on Twitter and on Instagram. This is something people have been asking me for since like 2017. So we've actually been able to make it happen on social media. Literally, we're just going to read. The Twitter account running it is @Hour2Read. They do reading hours every month, and they've very kindly put an extra one on for us. Then after that, you can head over to YouTube and watch Rhys discussing book things with S.J. Watson, the fantastic author, who is going to tell you all about his new book and all about his favourite bookshops and all kinds of other awesome things. It's a really nice talk. As well on Twitter. Yeah, his Twitter book club. Yeah,
really good.
Very exciting. That's this evening. So that's 6:30 on Twitter, 7:30 on YouTube. And tomorrow, the kids are taking over.
The
as
kids
we've
are
just seen.
taking over, I'm afraid. Yeah. I will also say, if you haven't watched it yet, do look at the Freebird YouTube page and watch the
conversation with
Books for Change.
Yes, that aired
also
yesterday.
community orientated, I will say.
Fantastically, yeah.
If you can, do support them. They really do make a big difference. It's a bit of a personal one with us as well, because they've helped support our kids' school. So
yeah, because they started in Kent where we live. So, but we didn't know them before this, so it's been really nice to kind of get
really
in
good.
touch with them. But do go back and watch that. Yep, and you can catch up with the Bookselling in a Pandemic panel from Thursday, which seems a million years ago now.
It does, yeah.
And all the daily YouTube videos are obviously still up there on
They're all
YouTube,
there.
so you can check out those. As I said, the subtitles will be being improved. We're going to stop talking because we've been talking for 10 minutes.
We've been talking for 10 minutes. One last thing, you'll notice on all of the days, I'm going to edit it in these sections so that it will have minute markers, and you can click the minute marker and it will take you to specific points.
So if you don't want to watch this bit, just skip to
and
the
you can
5 quick things.
Exactly,
or...
you can hit on 5 quick things that you want to watch. So I'm labelling all of them.
Or if we're the only thing you're here for.
Oh yeah,
we know you're out there.
You love us.
Laura.
Specifically Laura. It's probably just Laura and Katie. Sorry, Katie.
Okay, this has got really rambling now. So don't forget, subscribe, use the hashtag, tell us what you've bought, show us your pictures of books as they come in, and we will see you, well, the kids will see you tomorrow.
The kids will see you tomorrow. You'll probably see us as well.
Then we'll be back on Wednesday for a final wrap-up day. And thank you so much for joining in this year.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Bye.